I'm Vin.
I'm Sori.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the filthy capitalist option. As Sori says, $125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. $125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and you get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at villageXchange@gmail.com and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go on the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy a merch indeed, a child shall lead them.
Yep. Next song on this list, because we are in the middle of a DJ stream. A DJ stream is where you get to be the DJ and pick all the songs. This group is actually called the Agents of
Ambitus.
And they picked ISON.
ISON-Celestial Flood featuring Go-Go Malone.
Celestial Flood. And this song was picked by OSC Trippin'.
OSC Trippin', gang gang. Okay, ladies and gents, let's check it out. OSC Trippin', Celestial featuring Go-Go Malone. Let's go.
Ooh.
Get your headphone out. Got it? Good.
Thank you. Turn that up.
Turn that shit up, man.
Thanks, DJ Mike.
But
Oh boy. Yikes. What do you think,
You know what this made
Vinny?
me think about? Almost
Tell me.
immediately.
Tell me.
Well, hold on. Go ahead. You start.
Nope. I want you to start this time. Go
Why?
ahead. I'm very curious where you're going to go
I
with this.
guarantee you, like, what I'm about to say has nothing to do with what you were thinking about.
Yeah, I
It's
know. That's why I want to hear it.
So it set up a giant conundrum to me that probably started in the first 30 seconds of the song. And I spent the rest of the song trying to unpack in my head because the music was providing a lot of, like, it provides contemplation. Like, it's a good sense
absolutely.
of contemplation. But basically, the conundrum was, especially when she said, "I'm living a lie, but I'm here with you," or something like that. Let me put it back on. She said, where was the line that, like, did it? "I'm here with you and I live a lie." There it is. Okay. So the conundrum is Brokeback Mountain.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So we watched that last week. Well, I
Yep.
did. You fell asleep, which I don't understand how you could fall asleep in a movie like that.
Oh.
So Brokeback
yeah.
Mountain, right? You
I thought
got
it was
these
a little slow moving.
these two dudes that they're obviously in love with each other, but they're in, like, it started in 1963. The first
Oh, it's
set,
based on a true story?
No. I'm just saying in the timeline of the movie, they met each other in 1963, and this is in, like, Montana or some shit.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't, no disrespect to Montana, but I don't know how much they've progressed since 1963. You see what I'm saying? So no disrespect to Montana, but so they have this romance, whatever. Whatever. Like I said last week, we fast forwarded through a couple scenes.
I didn't want to fast forward the scenes.
Yeah, I did, and we did. You can go back. You can go watch and you can go back and watch in slow mo if you want.
I don't know. It's not slow motion. I wanted to hear what they were saying because
So
I felt like it was important.
So obviously they cannot be together publicly. But of course, one of them. So they got made by the guy that they were working for. The guy found, because the guy's mom had cancer or some shit, and so when they were running around or whatever, kissing or whatever, the guy saw them. So dude A goes his way, dude B goes the other way.
Right. Yeah.
Well, apparently dude B lived basically too close to the situation to basically be able to hide. So all the rumors started about this guy, and he's this and he's that, and you just see how he's being treated. And so he ends up, they call it a beard, I think. He ends up marrying a woman to kind of, account for that. And these guys end up having kids and shit. They both, well, no, the other guy didn't have any kids. The Jake Gyllenhaal character.
Oh,
was
he
the
never
one that,
got any?
He never had any kids.
Yeah.
I don't think. And then the other guy had, like, 2 daughters.
Yeah.
One of them, by the end of the movie, like, basically didn't want anything to do with him. But the other one, like, still is close to him. Anyway, so you watch these dudes through the movie, and they find each other after 4 years, right? And then basically what ends up happening is they basically can only see each other once a year, something like that. The guy keeps telling his wife he's going on a fishing trip, yada, 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 and then they get to whatever. They can never be together. So the line where it says, "I'm here with you, but I'm living a lie," or some shit like that. It's like, okay, what are we talking about here? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
So then I thought to myself, you think to yourself, is it better to be in that situation? Was it better for them to, should they just have said, fuck it, you know what I'm saying? Let's just be together. Whatever happens, happens. Since the beginning,
I think they would have got killed, right?
Or
At that time period.
I don't want to
In
give any
Montana?
I don't want to give any spoilers away,
Oh.
but not doing that doesn't necessarily change that outcome either. Because once you get that scarlet letter on you, dudes start observing you. I mean, I cannot imagine being that obsessed with another dude's sexuality to where you're watching to catch them be whatever. Like, that to me is kind of strange. Like, to me, it's like, okay, you haven't reconciled certain things within yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're that obsessed about somebody else's,
Yeah, that's.
you know what I'm saying?
that's
It's kind of weird to me, but okay. But my point is, like, the song is beautiful, but it's almost in reverse, because I'm lost in this dark dream. A line of illusions is following me as I hold my broken soul. I fall alone in a lucid wall. So she's falling into lucidity, and lucidity is obviously where you're awake and you're aware and you're conscious. So the dream is in this sense is something that you wanted, and reality is something she doesn't want, right? Reality is something you don't want to see. You don't want to be a part of. As she's saying, she falls into a lucid wall. So it's like she wanted to stay in like this fantasy where she's with the person and she can be with the person, because in reality she cannot be with the person. When she goes into the real world, she's not with that person anymore, and she has to live a lie. See, in that last line, I'm here with you and I live a lie.
Yep.
So if all our dreams would have come true, see, you're in the dream state, you're asleep, you're no longer lucid. But if I could bring the dream state into reality, then we could shine like the stars so bright. But I'm here with you and I live a lie. So that was like, that line, like that was in the first 30 seconds of the song.
That's what dictated the whole
and
thing.
it just
for you.
like carried like my thought process for the rest of the song, because I'm trying to unpack like what these guys should have done in the movie. Like, what advice would you have given them? And the second thing would be like, we're kind of like that.
Yeah.
It just so happens that we live in a, I'm a different type of individual where like, come over here and do some shit. Like, you're not gonna, you know what I'm saying? But even though it's still not like Brokeback Mountain level, like.
No, but I think
because where we live, like, those people are afraid of me. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, they generally don't say anything. They just like look. But for me,
yeah,
because
but they're terrified. They would never come to me. They're like literally afraid.
You're probably right. I can't read that from people.
Well, I'm talking about even the people that know us that have like variant
they
opinions. Like they're, you know what I'm saying? So like
I
don't even want to put us in that category, because like there's really people that have been in that like and are still in Brokeback Mountain type situations, whether you're gay or straight, whatever.
Yes. No, that's true. I think for me, I don't like. I think a lot of times if we were in a different time. Like, I think that it would be short-lived and you would get killed. And I don't like that. And like, because, like, everywhere I go, like, I was always, like, I think visually well accepted by people. And so when I go places, if I'm by myself, people seem more like, kind of like drawn toward me. But then when you and I are together, they look so angry sometimes, and the vibe is so.
I'm talking about white people.
Yeah, obviously talking about white people.
We're talking jealous. We're talking about jealous ass white people. That's what we're talking about. Let's just be real.
Well, the only other time that I get that negative energy is if it's a black girl. It's
true.
not that same energy. Bye.
That's
Thank
true.
you for interrupting. Thank you.
Love you.
So you know what I mean, like in those situations, but they don't put off like the. Like, they just seem like they're angry with me and that they should be with you instead. But,
yeah. But I mean, to be honest, them girls would never want to be with me in the first place if they knew what they were dealing with, right? But go ahead. What were you saying?
Yeah. So I think about that, and I think of how I feel like we were positioned right in history where, there's certain places. It depends on where we go. So we went to that backwoods town over there when we went to go to the escape room, and then that's where it was all like weird. Yeah. But if we go to down, southern,
the last one
Portland,
we were at the bar with the Misery Machine people. Yeah.
But if
Shout
we were in
Misery
South
Machine,
Portland, then I would feel differently about it. I would be like, you know what I mean? Like when we go to South, people look like they're like, okay, all right.
Yeah.
And that's where I actually get the flip experience because I was so religious for all my life, people would be like, oh, but then once I'd like start talking, they'd get my energy. They were like, and I could feel that like
100%.
like pushing away.
100%.
But when I'm with you, like I feel like people are like, okay, she's cool. I mean, she married a black guy, so I don't know. Like it does change things.
Yeah, but yeah,
So
I don't want to
where you
compare.
go.
I don't want to compare like that to Brokeback, because Brokeback is like some next level shit. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I
With
didn't finish it, but I'm sure, yeah.
They were not afraid of him like physically. They were not physically afraid of him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah, they plotting on me, but they got to do something. Told my girl to something. We gonna shoot something. But so that's what I was thinking about. Like, should they have just said, "Fuck it, we're just gonna be together. Whatever happens, happens." Right? To me, like,
they should have, because the Gyllenhaal character was saying, let's, you know, and then the other guy was like being practical and saying, no, we can't be together. But in reality, the other guy's solution wasn't, it was, let's marry these other women, lie to them, have kids, yada, 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 and then visit each other like once every 4 years. It was just a terrible arrangement.
Yeah, but I don't think that was the plan, right? I think that they had that one summer, the whole thing got blown up. And
That's
then
true.
he moved, and then it was like, well, what are we going to, it's not like I'm going to, and then he starts this relationship, and I think it became that. But I don't think that was the original. I don't think he married her saying, well, I'm going to lie to her and go off. He was already married to her, and then he reconnected with that guy.
He was clearly,
right?
He was, yeah. I mean,
but people
the whole marriage was a lie, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, but maybe he was trying to, you know, nobody wants to spend their life alone. So maybe he was thinking, well, you know what? This is the route I have to take, so I'm going to go with it.
Yeah, and it's a position we put a lot of people in those kinds of situations. But
yeah.
And that's the other thing right there. She says, all these fears I had to pull through, they never meant to fade your light. See? Mm-hmm. And yeah, that was really what was driving the other character. I have him as the bad guy in my head, when in reality he's just a victim of circumstance.
Yeah.
The bad guy really in the movie was the
guy
overarching, it was the zeitgeist itself was the bad guy in the movie. Mm-hmm. Because if you individualized each character, you could see the humanity, even the bad guy, even the father, the horrible father, you could still see the zeitgeist put that father in a place where what the hell else was he gonna do? You know what I'm saying? So the zeitgeist to me was the bad guy in that movie, but it really like makes you think like, what should they, you know, and then I think about me and you and things like that, because when you're in a situation where, and you know, there isn't just social pressure over here, but there's also like religious, you know, pressures and whatever. Mm-hmm. Like, so when you decide you're going to go up against the system to love another person, the only thing really that can fuck with you after that is fears. And that's, you know, and that's why one of those things, that's why I'm so big on never making a decision based on fear, right? Like I'm not going to ever make fear-based decisions, because those almost always end up being not good for human flourishing. Like, I've never seen a person who like drives the car that way that's happy. You know what I'm saying? And really, if you look at that movie, by the end of the movie, I mean, I don't want to give away any spoilers, but by the end of the movie, you know, one of them has gone on to the next world, and the other one is living by himself in a trailer, just completely, all he has left is a picture in a bloody shirt.
Seriously?
That's all he has of, you know, whatever. And I just remember, like,
oh my gosh.
I paused on that scene. And
if that's the end, then I say they should just come together.
I paused at that scene, and I just stopped at that scene. I probably stood at that scene for 20 minutes, and I was just like in that trailer and being like, there's like one final, he says, I swear something. I swear, Jack. He said, Jack, I swear was the last line. I'm pretty sure. Because the guy's name was Jack Twist, right? He said, Jack, I swear, and then he's crying, and then the mountain was crooked, and then he fixes it, and then he goes to close the door, which had an interesting camera effect, because as he went to close the door, the mountain came closer, and then it left.
Oh my god.
It was brilliant. I don't know if he did that on purpose, but it was just...
the hat? Was there a theme with the hats?
It was just... Well, yeah, I thought there was a theme with the hats, which was that they were always trying to cover themselves.
Yeah.
He didn't have a hat on the last scene. So, but by that time it was too late.
It's too late.
Because the metaphor for the hat was
my God.
They were hiding behind this air of masculinity, which the cowboy is like the pinnacle of masculinity. This is just my interpretation of the movie. The cowboy is the pinnacle of masculinity, and so they were both looking at each other at the beginning of the movie. They're clearly attracted to each other, so they angle their heads down where you see the hat.
Yeah.
And one has a black hat, one has a white hat, just like in the westerns. In the westerns, the guy with the black hat's a bad guy, the guy with the white hat's a good guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And so there was so much symbolism with the clothes, and then at the end of the movie,
Zorro had a black hat.
Huh?
Zorro had a black hat.
Yeah, he's a bad guy.
What?
He was bad, and then he turned, like, the society looked at Zorro as bad. It was a girl that thought Zorro was good. That's why he always had to run away, and he was always in jail.
That's right. Yeah.
That's a metaphor for Western. That's a metaphor for Western women always wanting the
bad guy to
the
save
bad
them.
guy.
Excellent.
Cowboys were never masculine. Cowboy boots are essentially heels for men. Shout out to Ben Webb. So, like, you know, like, to me, it was like, it just fit the storyline of that movie, and I was really, like, carried away with thinking through, like, you know, what should it be? And obviously, you know, my thing is, well, you should choose love every single time. You see what I'm saying? Like, you should choose love over fear every single time, because at the end of the movie, he chose fear over love, and it landed him alone in his trailer with nothing left but a picture.
Oh my god!
And a shirt.
Oh god!
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yikes.
you know, hell, man, you might as well have. You know what I'm saying? And aside from the theological ramification of gay relationships or whatever, that wasn't really dealt with in the movie. You know, it was a societal pressure, and it had gone on for a good 20 years. I mean, they were in the early 90s when the movie ended, because it started at 63, and then he has kids like a couple years later, and then his daughter's all grown up like 19, 20. So they're like 85 to 90 at the end of the movie, and you know, that area had not progressed, obviously, but by 85 or 90, your kids are grown. They could have went something. You know, they just. You know, one was, let's go to Mexico. You know, he's like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? We ain't going to Mexico, man. I ain't doing that shit. So I don't know.
Is that acceptable in Mexico?
I don't know, but it's, I mean, where they were, I mean, it was like Grand Central Station for, you know, the Confederate flag might have been the fucking, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, that's what was going on with me, and I'm trying to, you know, I was trying to figure that out as far as, like, just the themes of, you know, forbidden relationships and love and fear and how all that goes, and, you know, go ahead. So what were you thinking?
To me, it was about a woman, and she said, "So lost in this dark dream, a line of illusions is following me. As I hold my broken soul, I fall alone in a lucid wall." So that part to me was, she's really struggling bad, and it's getting very, very dark, and it's getting so dark, like, in her soul, because she calls her soul broken, but she says she's lost in a dark dream, and I think she's lost within that darkness that's kind of consuming her. And then she says, "But I'm here with you and I feel alive." So even though she's in that situation, when she's with, I'm assuming him, she then feels alive. And these fears I had to pull through, they never meant to fade your light, but because she had to, like, pull through her fears, but she never overcame them, like, he had to carry the brunt of her darkened soul. And she says, if all of our dreams, this part's so sad to me, if all of our dreams would have come true, we could shine like the stars so bright. Then she said, "But I'm here with you." And then she said, "I live a lie." And to me, when she said that, it was like, she was saying, like, everything that they could have, everything, but because her soul is so dark, that even though she's there with him and she feels alive, she's living a lie because she's so dark inside and her soul is so broken. So it's a lie because she only feels alive when she's with him, but then when she's not, she's who she is. And then she says, "I must fall in a lucid wall when ocean waves roll high in me. But like withered stars, my magic ends, and in this form I look for an open gate." And that to me was, so she had all this potential, and she had magic, whatever, but it's all withering. Even her magic, even the thing that was like her, I would assume if you were like a magical person, that would be like the bright spot of your person. Yeah. And she's become so dark that that's even withered. And she says, in this form, because all she sees is the withered stars and her darkened soul, that then she looks for an open gate. And to me, that open gate was death, because she can't overcome it. Mm-hmm. And then she goes back to saying, but when she's with him, she feels alive. And then she says the same thing. She never thought that she never wanted to fade his light. But then the very last, so she says again, "But I'm here with you and I live a lie." And then she says, "I am here." And then it falls, into thin air, and I fall into thin air. And when you have magic and something goes away into thin air, it disappears. And so I think at the end, she does kill herself. She does die. And so it's a very tragic song.
What was going on with you in the song? Like what?
I'm not going to get into what I personally thought about the song. I'm just giving you my interpretation of what I thought it was.
Okay. Okay. Well, this is the first 10 of the night for me.
Yeah, and her voice had that sort of like eerie slowness to
that
it.
ethereal
It was
sorta-
perfect. I love the album
Yeah.
cover. I've always like been very attracted to like that type of art.
I love the light reflecting on the chair handles. Look at that in the video, babe.
What?
Look right here.
Oh, in our
Isn't that beautiful?
Yes, it is. I do like it as well. It reminds me of my cup.
Yeah. Your cup, which apparently I'm just finding out you would not have used because
Right.
it's gay.
But but now
There has got to be some like real diagnosable, evangelical homophobe disease or some shit like that
God,
that people could be
awful.
diagnosed with. Like, holy shit. Yeah, deep song, and it really I'm not certain that I've gotten the answer to my. I mean, I don't have the answer to the question because I'm just kind of at the foothills of digesting that movie. I wish there wouldn't have been so much hype, but you know what? I probably wouldn't have been able to really see the depth of that movie anyway until our relationship anyway.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'd never be able to relate to like a forbidden type relationship anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I see. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Your previous relationship was kind of forbidden, right? Your mother was like, "No, go."
yeah, that's not
Not the same.
You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
that's one person. I'm talking about like an entire society of people. You know what I'm saying? At different degrees or whatever. And even that, like I said, there's so much terror of me around here that it doesn't because I'm pretty sure these people are convinced. Because I came up in the Bronx, I'm pretty like you used to ask me all these weird questions and shit like, and I'm like, well, shit, how did I have a pretty good persona up here. Like I felt like I did a lot of work to present myself as an accessible, you know what I'm saying, type of person. So you started asking me these very like intrusive and weird questions. Did you ever blah 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 when you were down there? And I'm like. But I figured that's because you know me so well. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe you could see through stuff or maybe whatever. But the point is, like...
There's a couple reasons why.
I still can't relate to that movie. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not... You know what I mean? So, I don't know. Anyway.
Well, one time that kid asked you a question. There was a kid that asked you a question.
Which kid?
And you... Well, I don't want to say because I don't want people to... Like, if perhaps some people are... A kid
fuck those
asked
people.
you... Well,
Which
no.
kid? Who?
He asked you a question.
Oh, yeah.
And you, like, it wasn't what you said. It was the energy when you answered.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh,
Yeah,
But anyway, you know what I mean? Like...
Yeah.
But I did... We already know. You and I already know. But anyway...
All right.
So
there you go.
that was,
there you are.
Oh, so what did you give it?
I give it. This is a 10 for me.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go with a 10 as well. I'm gonna have to go with a 10 as well.
There you are, dear listener.
Good
Vin
job,
out.
OSC tripping. Sorry out.
Featuring Go-Go Melone. Vin out.
Sorry out.
Gone.